That's that Detroit cortada.
Except for the fact that my cup was melting. She could double up my cup.
We like things hot here, Cari. Like, we like it to melt the cup.
Okay, well, you know what? You got an attitude.
And she gave you a whole compliment. You Tyra Banks now.
I was like, I guess the red hair. Sure.
Tyra Banks was fine.
Girl.
I mean, you know, she might be a horrible person.
And then by the way, and I was like, she's persona non grata. She was me like, bitch, what is she? What's that? And I was like, my bad.
First of all,
and she was like,
first of all, how dare you?
How dare you? I was like, But we're in Detroit, not for your birthday per se, because your birthday was 2 years ago. Her birthday was a few months back, 2 months back. But I think, Jemele, this is interesting. You decided that you wanted all your friends to come here and do what exactly?
I wanted us to all go see New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Toni Braxton. Is that not the most Gen X right? Because we don't know ever. Because I was like, we're X, what right? X okay, yeah. The most little boomer thing ever.
Yeah,
is to go see them.
Baby boomer, we're not baby.
And I wanted to see it in my city. Yeah, right. I wanted to see it with my folk.
Yeah.
So yes, I appreciate and love you all for making this trip happen.
Okay, so the reality is that it started off as 10. Boiled down to 7 because different folks had different things happening. And so we all came in last night and we went to, where'd we go? What's the name of that place?
So we went to Baru, which one of the owners is my husband's really good friend from college. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Dre. Thank you for looking out.
Let me tell you what I love about Detroit more than anything. Everyone's so friendly, almost too friendly. It makes me uncomfortable.
Really?
It's almost, you ever watch that show? You ever see that movie Get Out?
Oh, you know what? What are you trying to say?
Well, I just the conversation, come and hang out, talk extra long. You mean really friendly?
You mean because
there's something going on here.
The Midwest, Cari.
Oh yeah, okay,
right.
Okay,
the Midwest is, even though
because you one toe in Midwest, one toe west.
One toe, because I live in LA.
One toe, yeah, because you turned into LA.
I have not. I wasn't the one ordering a cortada this morning, whatever that is.
Yo, let me tell you about this cortada. I was told about it. It's half espresso, half milk. And I asked I walked. We walked. Tina. It was Jay, the girl, our lady in the hotel. I was like, "Do you guys do cortada?" And she looked at me like, "Speak English, young lady." And then Jemele looked at me and was like, "This is the LA thing ever." I was like, "What?" Because they had all things.
Coming to Detroit and ordering a cortada.
They had all these different espressos,
but they did not have the cortada, did they?
But she did make it for me.
She did make it
because they know how to do it.
Yes, she knew what it was, and I was like,
"Am I bougie for wanting a cortada?"
It felt a little bougie.
What you get?
I got a green tea with some honey and lemon.
You know, fine. Let me sip my cortada, please.
And then she gave you a wonderful compliment. She said that you look like Tyra Banks.
And I was like, well, hold on. Let's take a time out. I was like, time out.
Because Tyra's a little bit of trouble right now.
Tyra, ain't nobody fooling with Tyra. I haven't seen
Girl, I watched it.
Yeah, ain't nobody fooling with Tyra right now.
Where I rub my knee and I'm like,
because I don't want to be Tyra right now.
No, but Tyra was the it girl. So she meant it complimentary.
The only thing that I will say is that I'm able to, and it's interesting because people have different perspectives. I think this generation, and we'll get into that, just because we're Gen X, I feel like every generation has a different take and they approach life differently. Millennials and Gen Y, as you call it.
Right.
But I feel like everybody has a different approach. I saw what Tyra did. Tyra was the first to do what she ever did. And when you're the first, it's hard and you're going to make some mistakes. The problem is, the mistakes that she can look back on and see that she clearly made is that people are saying that she's not apologetic about those mistakes at all.
She wasn't. For me, there wasn't an appropriate amount of accountability. Like I wanted to be fair to her, and I was, because I think it is unfair to go back and look at America's Next Top Model through the lens of 2026.
No, you can't.
Like you can't. Like the type of television that they were doing then would never be aired today.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone is we're living in a world now where we know the truth. Everybody doesn't really get, this has been happening for years. What Tyra did was what she was used to. Not that it's okay, but people were treating her that way and so she, as a result, started treating people that way. I hate that people don't have perspective, nuance, a little grace, but she needs to be apologetic.
There were some moments that make her look really bad.
Well, the sexual assault, I hear, was really bad.
They aired it. They literally aired a sexual assault on the show, and they framed it as just the young model. She just cheated on her boyfriend, and it turned out it was way more to it than that. And I think what made it worse is, remember Tyra had her talk show and she aired the same footage on her talk show. And the girl was right there, and the girl looks like she wants to die.
We were all rooting for you.
Oh, they went behind the scenes on that one too. That's very interesting, that story.
All right, I gotta watch it. But Tyra's a problem.
Tyra comes off as problematic, and only for them to announce at the end of it that they're bringing Top Model back. And I was like, oh, but that's really?
By the way, it's all problematic because they're bringing Top Model back. It's all. So is this her apology? Will this Top Model be apologizing to people? Is it different?
I don't know how this is. I don't know how they expect people to feel after seeing this docuseries. Put it this way, I certainly did not feel, oh, they need to bring Top Model back. I was like, this franchise needs to die.
Well, everyone said the reason why she's doing it is because of that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I will say I don't know. We'll get into that.
We'll get back to how wonderful Detroit treats you.
Well, everybody in Detroit is really sweet. Almost like I said, get out sweet. Like, you know, are you trying to? You
think we're trying to kidnap you
and take my brain? A lobotomy. Is that what they call it? Nice.
I mean, that is a shame that you are not used to niceness.
Yeah.
I know. I was trying to hold it in, man. I was trying to hold the coffee in. It was killing me. I just needed to get it off. Let me tell you why she's coughing, y'all. Oh.
So last night we go out. Let me tell you what happened. We get to Detroit. Okay. We go out. We have this dinner with her lovely friend Dre. She talking. She laughing. Jemele holding court. She is the queen of Detroit. You can't walk 2 feet without people like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And I love that. I want my girl to get all this love. I love that. And you deserve all the love that you're getting. You really do. Because you are like hometown hero. She done made it. I'm so proud of her. She's everything. I can only imagine how when our homeboy Jalen pops up here, what it's like.
Oh, Jalen man. Like he is the mayor. And he is the mayor. He is the mayor.
Well, you the mayor emeritus.
I'm like the co-mayor.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on his staff.
Yeah, you're on the staff.
I'm a city council member.
You're the vice mayor.
I'm the vice mayor. Yes, correct. But Jalen is the mayor.
So we are walking around and Jemele chatting up everybody. We go into this bar because they allegedly have a table for us, and there was no table. So you know me, cranky auntie. I was like, all right, I gotta go. It's too loud in here. I'm at the age where it's too loud. I'm leaving.
And
I can't stay.
It's a shame that you left because you missed the hustling. Because we hustle in Detroit.
Okay, so, I think I'll get it tonight. I think we might do another venue after the concert.
Correct.
I think
so they did.
But I was catching a cold, and I wanted to be ready for tonight because I know they may call me on stage to sing. Why insert that?
If they say why,
right there, insert it right there because they're gonna call her up. Insert it.
That's what we doing.
Yeah. And so I was preparing for why.
If they say why.
And then Jemele's why should go directly after that. You got to be real specific with our team. You got to be like real specific. Please put it in.
Please put in why.
Please.
Right there.
So with that being said, I went to bed like an appropriate grandma.
Right.
Because I was catching a cold and I was feeling it because
we've been very responsible of you, Cari.
And then here you are coughing because what you do, stay out all night and have brown liquor
all night.
Have brown liquor all night.
I did not have any brown liquor.
Tequila.
Yes, if you want to call it tequila brown liquor, yes, I had some of that. But I was back in my room in bed by 11:30 p.m. Easy. Wasn't even close. Because I left shortly after you did. Heard a song or two by the wonderful live band. And then I was out.
Yeah. Well,
ran into some folks I went to high school with, which is very Detroit.
Yeah. So but I had to shut it down. So tonight though, we going hard.
Tonight we going hard in the paint.
She's wearing tiny shorts, Ian. You bought those little dadantadans?
No, I do not have any dadantadans.
What are you wearing?
I have some leather though.
Some leather dadantadans?
No, just some leather.
Okay, so everybody's okay. So it's Jemele, it's me, it's Angela Rye.
Correct.
Joy Reid came last night.
She
dipped in last night.
Joy,
we love you so much.
I love you.
She dipped in with her sweet self just to say hi to you.
Tiffany Cross.
Tiffany Cross is going to be there. Latasha Brown, Alicia Garza, and we're missing Sunny. Sunny at the last minute couldn't come. Brittany Packnett Cunningham couldn't make it. And then there's one more. Aaron Haynes is coming. We didn't mention Aaron Haynes. Yeah.
I did not know Aaron was coming.
Yes,
look
girl.
at that. Okay.
And then there's one other person.
We don't get arrested tonight.
For sure we're getting arrested.
But we'll get let off because it's my city. So don't worry about it.
Fund me at Jemele.
We won't need it. We'll just get a little citation. And they'll send us
I don't want no citation.
Nothing.
Good participation. I love them so much. And I'm glad they decided to come. They flew all the way from all over the corners of the earth. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, especially, listen, I know that people have heard a lot of things about Detroit, but right now is the time to be here. Like the city is on fire. Okay. The city is popping. We have all of the major sports teams that are playing in downtown Detroit, which is huge. And we're getting our WNBA team back.
I know.
2029.
I know. I've been deep in those conversations. Oh, yes. I've been deep in those guys. Yeah.
Same. And people, I always felt like the Detroit Shock was a buried legacy in the WNBA. They won 3 titles in 6 years, I think it was. Yeah. They're the only team in pro sports history to go from last place to winning the title the very next season. And so, yeah, I mean, but they don't really talk about them as a dynasty like they do the Comets or the Sparks or the Lynx.
Yeah.
And I think a lot has to do with how the Shock played, the fact that Bill Laimbeer was the head coach. And, you know, people have...
definitely, yeah.
You know, they have their feelings about him, a narrative about him.
You know what? I hate these gatekeepers in sports. I really do. That's a whole nother story. But the people who won't allow the past to be the past and won't allow people to evolve. But I think Detroit having a team is going to be amazing.
It is. Yeah. I mean, the fan support is real. People are ready. And it's coming at a time where the city, I mean, we've been through a lot. And when the Shock were here before, Detroit was going through a bankruptcy. And so, and even though the Shock weren't playing in the city of Detroit, they were playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills, which is about 45 minutes from here. But, you know, it was really a downtime for the city. And people made fun of us because that Craigslist ad got out there where you could buy a house in Detroit for $1,000.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was bad. But people always have kicked the shit out of Detroit. You know, it's like we were always
you got a chip on your shoulder.
Oh, that's why we all do.
Oh, yeah, Detroit versus everybody.
That is why that brand means so much to us, because it's literally true. It's like, it's, you know.
In your mind.
But I think.
Because I don't think, you tell me that, I'm like, in the zeitgeist out in the world outside of Detroit, I don't feel everybody like, oh, Detroit's awful. I feel like, in fact, I hear nothing but great things about Detroit.
Well, it's funny because, like, I guess maybe, you know, sometimes you do focus on the negativity, but people acted like our city, like we was Beirut or something. And I'm just like, I'm sorry.
But I don't know if that's the narrative anymore. When
I think we've come out of that.
Yeah, people want it. We
got a Gucci store downtown. We bougie now. We bougie now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like people come to Detroit and they'll be like, oh no, I fool with this city. It's really nice. It's pleasant. The people are nice. And I also think that when I was talking about everyone's so nice here, that is the jaded part of me that grew up in Los Angeles. Not so much that because I feel like every city has a narrative. People are like, LA so fake. I'm like, you've never met a soul from LA. We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. You've been somebody born and raised in LA. We're the realest people ever. Like, we don't have time. That we're so honest. We're so real. You can judge me, but you really don't know shit. So I could see why you would focus on that. But when I think of Detroit, I think everybody's kind. I think it's sweet. And I truly love how they just take care of their own. Like, you will in LA, that's not how it is. If you're from LA, they're like, great. And if you make it, they're like, cool. Or maybe your individual city, because I'm from Pasadena, they might be excited. But they don't do that the way in which people take pride in you when you walk down the street.
Because you guys have such like a cool reputation. Exactly. So it's like everybody thinks of LA as being so cosmopolitan, so hip. It's the center of Hollywood, the epicenter of Hollywood. Yeah. So you all have a different reputation. And I think the reason we tend to be more tribal here is because we are very aware and probably overly sensitive about our reputation.
Overly sensitive.
Yeah, because people always just talk about us for having like, murders and all that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna talk about y'all for my cortada that melted. That's all I know. This morning I got cortada and the cup melted. That's all I know.
Well, and then you can talk about us because you already have picked up 32 boyfriends. Yeah. And I told you I'm gonna get you married by the end of the weekend.
I will say this, Detroit, thank you for the love. I'm about to be engaged tomorrow.
Let's see if we can find you another day trader.
Girl, give me another honey. Give me a day trader. Yes. I think tonight's concert is going to be really good. I'm going to take video for y'all to see Jemele singing. Why?
Really?
Last night was hilarious. Joy was looking at you like, oh, no. Oh, because, Joy can sing. She was like, oh, no.
And then when you played her,
she was like,
she looked at me like, I can't believe I know you.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I don't know
disgust.
You. So I was just like, but it was sweet.
Yes, it was sweet.
Unlike, speaking of, not so sweet, since we talked about this, years ago, I had a thought about one Kevin Durant. Do you remember what I said?
I do remember what you said.
What did I say paraphrasing about Kevin Durant? Because this leads into our next topic.
I mean, can I just...
kick it?
I'll boilerplate it. You said he was soft.
What I said was that they were talking about we used to do a top 5 on SportsCenter, and they were like, if you started a team with someone, who would it be? who would you start a team with? I was like, I need somebody like a Kobe. I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I love Kobe's mentality. I said, I need a dog. I need a dog. So Kobe would be my first. I don't remember who my 2, 3, 4, and 5 was. But my co-host at the time, David Lloyd, said, well, you wouldn't take KD because he put KD to start the third. And I was like, no, I said, I need a dog. I was like, KD's not a dog. I said that. I didn't call him soft. I just was like, he's not a dog. He's not the person I want to start my team with. Not my kind of dude. Mm-hmm. Maybe I did say something to that effect. Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I whatever it was
to the fact that you thought he was a little soft.
It was scandalous.
Oh man,
Dame Lillard. No, but it was because Dame Lillard was Dame Lillard was like, who's this corny person on SportsCenter talking about KD not a dog? This is what he said, and then it was like think pieces, and I was told I was an idiot. Only for him to do what later on that season? The same exact season.
So I'm like, which
season
they were
was
up
3-1 in Oklahoma against Golden State. They were up 3-1.
Which season was that? Yes.
Oklahoma in the Western Conference Finals, they were up 3-1, and everyone thought they were going to win, and they didn't. They ended up losing. Golden State came back, won, went on to win the chip. Then he joined the team that beat him.
Yeah, which for a lot of sports fans was an egregious sin that they will never forgive him for. And he's clearly very aware of this. It bothers him deeply in his soul. I remember
Stephen A. was like, that's the softest move I've ever seen in the history of the NBA. He might have been like, whatever.
Yeah.
But
he came for him.
Since then, there's been this narrative around KD. Nobody came back to apologize to me, though, but whatever. And so there might have been this narrative around KD. I bumped into KD. We've talked about it. We've mashed it out. Like, you know, if he sees it again, he probably might be mad at me, but whatever. And it wasn't an issue. And recently, he had, probably a couple years ago, it was discovered he had a burner. And he was tweeting about his teammates, like Russell Westbrook. He was talking mad trash about him. And remember, Westbrook had some sneakers at the time, and they were called cupcakes. He was calling KD a cupcake, and he had a special brand of sneaker to troll KD. Do you remember this?
I do remember this.
Like everyone's memory is so short. I don't remember this.
Oh my gosh, I forgot the cupcake part.
So I just want to say, I said it first, and then it went down a whole. It was okay when the men say it, as it is the case. As it is the case in sports.
You were ahead of your time.
I was ahead of. You see what happens when you're ahead of your time, Tyra. Sweet. Bring it back to another top model. And then, so recently, you said, Cari, we should talk about the KD files.
Yeah, so listen, I tell you what, Twitter detectives or social media detectives, and not just Twitter, are undefeated. And somebody actually went and compiled a list of comments that allegedly have come from KD burner accounts. And again, allegedly saying these things about his teammates, which is a story that kind of blew up during All-Star weekend. And, you know, when you have to go back to your locker room after these comments have surfaced, it's tough. I have a lot of sympathy for KD.
Why?
For a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. One, I get it. This is where I think people are a little hypocritical about him making the jump to Golden State. And I understand that when it comes to sports, there's a certain way that people like to see people win championships. And to some degree, I think NBA fans are locked into this mentality of like, you got to win it like this. You got to climb the mountain and push the boulder up the hill. And if you don't win the championship like this, it doesn't mean as much, right?
When you're a star. Not for everybody, but when you're a role player, it's different. But when you're a star,
there's a way. So this is where I think people get a little hypocritical. If KD doesn't win a championship, all they're doing is writing his ass about not winning a championship. But when he does win one, it's like, oh, but you didn't do it the way we liked. It's like he was the best player on a team that had the unanimous MVP in Steph Curry. He was the finals MVP, not Steph Curry.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is that I think sometimes people can be a little harsh with KD. He's also representative of a different generation.
What generation?
You know, he is
Here she go. Get off my front yard.
He's a middle millennial. They grew up.
I don't care if it's older, middle, or late. Yeah. What's the difference between
the difference
middle?
Is because like you have older millennials who would be closer to
Are you just making
us.
this up right now?
No, I'm not. Like if you look up.
Research said
ChatGPT. I promise you, when they say what is a millennial, it's 1981 to 1996.
Okay, but do they talk about the differences between?
No, this is just something that I've
that's why I said that. That's what I just said. As black as you can be right now. And when you're a middle millennial, I'm like, who told you this?
Middle millennial.
Okay, go ahead.
Meaning that, okay, so somebody born in 1981 would probably have more of a mentality like us because
they're closer.
Because they're closer. Sure. That's all I mean by that.
Yeah.
As somebody who's a younger millennial is closer to Gen Z. Yeah. So they have more of a mentality like that. Katie's right in the middle. And he comes from a generation where they literally grew up on social media. It's all they know. We didn't come up that way. Like, we actually vividly remember childhoods and young adulthoods without social media. So our socialization and how we relate is different. This is a much more passive aggressive generation. Okay. Because they didn't grow up having to confront people in the way that we did. Like, if we wanted to talk mess about somebody, we just be on our porch in our neighborhood talking mess about them, and they right there or they not right there. They go run into social media to talk mess about people as opposed to having to actually face them. And so I think with these burner accounts, and this is all alleged, we don't actually know if it's him, but there's strong suspicion, obviously. But I think it isn't surprising to me that superstars of this generation are socially very different than, say, the Kobe Bryants. Very, very different.
No, you can't say.
Very different.
Kobe was, even though, like, he was Kobe. Is he Gen X?
Yes.
He was born in 1978. He is firmly
Gen X.
Firmly Gen X.
Yes, firmly Gen X. Right?
Which is why he moved differently. Which is why I also feel very akin to Kobe. People had all these things to say about him, but he was such a good soul. When he passed away, you found out all the things he did for people that people really never knew, and how he would reach out to people and take care of.
And listen, we forget your boy Kobe went through an awkward personal phase in terms of
when he first came out of the league. He was a child. Everyone couldn't stand him. It was like, what are you doing? Stand him. But that was that Gen X. I'm gonna do it on my own. I don't need y'all. I'm gonna figure it out. That's a mentality that we can relate to. The thing with KD is, I don't really understand him because of how successful he is, especially with his investments, and how he is, because he's really created a different brand. Like LeBron did the media company thing. KD is really, and his team, they're very big in building businesses and investing in businesses. He's been very successful in doing that. Because he has so much respect, I think, in the locker room, the things that he's complaining about, he could actually, if this is him, allegedly, if this is him, he could actually just say it and no one would think twice about it. I don't think that, like, him talking about Josh Allen, that's not sacrilegious. Does he feel like he can't criticize an athlete?
No, I don't think it's that. I think there's one thing that a narrative that has followed him, and again, I can't say if it's true or not, I'm not in the locker room, is that he's not a very good leader. And that people have said that about him because he is the type, he's so gifted that he doesn't have the same rub-off effect.
Okay, so it goes back to, you said you think he gets a bad rap because people want him to get a championship. And I'm like, when you're that good, there's just no... He's tired of being number two. Do you remember when he was in Oklahoma? Mm-hmm. And the cover of the article said, I'm tired of being number two. He was tired of being second fiddle to LeBron. So when you say things like that, there is this assertion that you're going to be a leader. LeBron needed help. He needed Dwayne to help him through that process. He had a big brother in Dwayne who he did all the press conferences with, who made him comfortable and feel safe, who helped him get a chip. He teamed up and got a chip. And he got slack for that, but he ultimately became a leader. Maybe not the leader that most people want, but people knock LeBron all the time about his leadership skill set. So I don't think when you were that talented, there is an onus. There just is, and that's going to be a conversation. I don't. For instance, Draymond Green has a podcast, and Draymond, as we well know, him and KD, while playing together,
they had some words.
Draymond may or may not have called him some names.
Correct. And we know the type of leader Draymond is.
Right. So, but this is what Draymond had to say about this whole KD Files scandal.
I personally would address it publicly if it's a public thing and it's taken on the life that it's taken. But to each his own. But I'll tell you what, if it is, I don't know how you walk back into practice. Walking back into practice after the break, almost you walk into the locker room, it probably feel like a Key and Peele sketch. Just like a little awkward. Like, what do you do?
So the reality is that Draymond is saying, if something like that was out there about me, I'd have to clear it up. I wouldn't let it just be. I'd have to clear it up. If there was a question about whether or not I created a burner account and I'm trash talking colleagues, teammates, people in the sports industry, whatever, I would be like, yo, that was me. Let me own it. Or no, that wasn't me. Like he feels like you have to say definitive. You have to address it. You cannot not
just let it linger.
It can't.
Right.
I don't know. Some people disagree with that. But you said there was a team meeting.
There was some report about.
There was a report.
There was a report about there being some kind of team meeting where this was addressed, and but it wasn't addressed. Like that was like some. So Carmelo said that the team meeting had already like taken place and that there was some team meeting where KD didn't really address it. And I'm like, okay, well, to Draymond's point, I don't think it's something that you can really just let linger and happen and not make your teammates understand that like, hey, I am rooting for you. I'm here. I'm in this. But I don't know how you clean that up though. Like if he actually did it, if he says like, yeah, guys, that really was me. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know how they move on from that. And then if he's like, no, it wasn't me, do they actually believe him?
Yeah.
Because of he's had a reputation for doing this before.
Yeah, I don't know. Mm. I feel like if you are doing it, just say it. Like, he has enough cachet to say it.
You think his teammates will forgive him if he does or get over it?
No, I think they won't. I think because he is who he is, they probably will just talk bad about him behind his back like everybody does.
Like a respectable teammate.
Why can't you just do what everybody does and talk about me behind my back? Right. Why can't you just do that?
Just be normal.
Just be normal. Just shit talk me behind my back. That's what people do. It's normal. But this is an interesting take because I wonder, the big question for me and the reason why I think we're talking about this is how does this affect his legacy, if at all? I do believe in this time, in this day and age, there's so much information, we forget things. Like as we're talking, you're forgetting these key moments that I think really shifted everyone's narrative around KD. And for us to forget it, and we've been in this business for a minute, it's interesting, right? Yeah. And then there are those who come behind us who won't remember it. Well, like his teammates, these young teammates, I don't even know if they remember.
Well, I mean, I think to some, look, I don't think KD has to worry about people not understanding the type of generational talent that he is.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
I'm talking about like Isaiah Thomas type. Yeah. Like, what's the narrative around him? As we drove down the street, you're like, there go Isaiah Thomas right here.
Well, listen, you better watch your words. You're in Detroit right now.
I'm not trying to get jumped.
Right.
Because this is the first,
like, come outside, Cari, we ain't gonna jump you.
The first fight Jemele and I ever had was whether or not Magic Johnson was a better human than Isaiah Thomas. We don't know that.
We were really arguing.
Like I was like, you don't even know Magic like that. And how you talking about Magic? Like, I'm stumping my feet. I'm mad. And you like, well, let me tell you about Isaiah. And we're going back and forth and back and forth. Two humans we know nothing about, by the way. We really don't know these humans. But my point being is that I think Isaiah gets a bad rap, but he was, to your point, he beat every one of the giants.
Right.
He beat every giant himself.
He embodies that chip that Detroit people have, even though he's from Chicago. Right, that like, I'm the one who disrupted the magical narrative of Magic, Larry. Yeah, like I came along.
I took all y'all out.
I took all y'all out. Yep. And so, he's
and he doesn't get enough respect for that.
And that bothers him deeply.
It would bother me deeply.
So just like with your boy KD, it bothers him deeply that people still have that narrative around his championship by saying that, yeah, it counts, but you joined the best team to do it. And that, you could tell that's something that's so embedded and deep in his spirit. And if he is doing this burner stuff, I think some of it just comes from that hurt of feeling like people don't look at his legacy the same because he did that. And that's why I said is in a way it's hypocrisy, because there's a ring culture in the NBA that by fans that is just really corrosive. I mean, some of it, listen, I don't like to fall into the blame LeBron for everything camp, but I think because he's jumped teams and he's made winning and having rings a priority, it's kind of changed how we look at rings. Now it's like, if you don't win a ring, then you ain't shit. And it's like, and because of that,
but I don't feel that way unless you have otherworldly generational talent. I don't feel that narrative would surround Devin Booker. I don't feel like that narrative would surround. I'm thinking, I'm not sliding Devin.
Anthony Edwards.
Of course.
It might surround him.
Sure. Maybe. But there's still time for him. There's still time.
He's young.
But I'm saying that narrative, has been given to those who are exceptional. Mm-hmm. And even then, LeBron, they talked so bad about him. They said he had to team up with several other people so that he can finally get a ring.
Oh,
right?
Remember how bad they talked about him for going to the Heat?
And even when he won in Cleveland, that probably might have been the only chip that people respect because he did it in Cleveland.
I think they respect the Miami ones because he did it in Cleveland.
Yeah,
but that's
they don't respect the Laker one. They're like, it's the bubble chip. Like, there's always going to be a narrative around these superstars. So I feel like I understand what you're saying about KD, and it is just so hard. Athletes are sensitive. I'm sensitive. Yeah. I'm not even about to, but
but that's why he takes it so personally because he like, so y'all let LeBron live, but I can't live. Like LeBron did the same thing, but y'all on me. And it's just like, okay, but when I don't win, then it's KD's fault and he can't win and he's not a winner. And it's like, I get why he gets probably a little too caught up. But look, he all right with me because I'm going to tell you.
He all right with you?
He all right with me because...
Because what?
When I was going through all the things with Trump, guess who sent me a personal message?
Oh, yeah.
It was Kevin Durant. He's a nice person.
No, he's a great guy.
He's a really good guy.
But that's germane to what we're talking about.
But this kind of stuff
if he's your teammate, he's shit talking you. Yeah, you're gonna like
sad.
That's germane. That's outside of it. And they all have been like, look, he gets it. Yeah. So okay. So you decided because he was a middle millennial, this was the issue. Like he can't come. Jamel has surmised with her psychology degree that because he's a middle millennial, he can't. Right.
This is showing.
Look, I think he's great at what he does. I don't even want to. Let's not even be silly. He's great at what he does. If in fact he did do this, I think
Draymond's right though.
That you got to
address this. Like you can't let this be lingered or associated with your reputation. And if you did it, you just got to own it and just take the L's and move forward. And then,
but he be coming at people all the time on his regular account.
I know, but he's actually funny.
He's hilarious.
His
on his
clapbacks are hysterical.
They're wonderful.
But at the same time,
I'm here for them.
You want him to get out the comment section. Like, come on, Katie. You could jump in it. KD can't. You know what I'm saying? He can't.
There was also another story that we were going to talk about before we got to our Olympic minute. Do you want to do your Olympic minute first, and then you want to go to the Vinicius?
I mean, the last one is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
So we'll break it up with a little Olympic minute.
Who would have known that your time in Italy when you were a correspondent, a reporter,
a journalist
covering the Winter Olympics some years ago.
Really? Did you have to do the? You had to clear your throat and say it. Okay.
Time for Jamel's Olympic minute. Da-da-da. Take it away.
I know. I love that. So, Cari, as you know, being here in Detroit, we are currently where we are, we're probably about 15 minutes from Canada. A lot of people don't know how close Detroit and Canada are. It's really right across the river. Right now, the Canadians, they don't like us for a lot of reasons, but they really don't like us after what happened last night at the Olympics, where you had our U.S. women's hockey team. They won the gold medal. Since they started this as an Olympic event, the only two countries that have won gold medals in hockey have been the U.S. and Canada. So that rivalry is real, okay? And they won in overtime. It was a phenomenal game.
Did you watch it?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
All right, talk to me about
so like it was great. I mean, much like a lot of their games, I mean, back and forth. And the U.S. won 2-1 in overtime. Megan Keller with a game-winning goal. So very proud of these ladies for bringing home the gold for Team USA. The women were kicking ass last night, as they often do in the Olympics.
Okay.
Because the other big story from the Olympics was Alyssa Liu, Oakland's finest. Her skating performance in the free skate. Cari, if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to go watch it.
It beautiful.
Is technically exceptional.
I'm looking at it now.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
She won the gold. She's the first American woman to win the gold in singles figure skating in more than 2 decades. I mean, because she walked away from the sport when she was a teenager, and then she came back, and it's been like a wonderful redemption story. So Alyssa Liu, you did your dang thing.
You did your damn thing.
She did her dang thing.
I'm watching her, and her hair was amazing, by the way. The hair matches with the outfit.
It's something about figure skating. I don't know what
is it.
It just captures, much like track and field with the Summer Olympics. Like that's when the Olympics start. It's with track and field. They're
that's interesting.
They're the centerpiece to me of the Olympics. For the Winter Olympics, it's figure skating. Okay. Because that's what we've seen a lot of drama. Going back to Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, even before then.
That's my kind of.
That's your kind of drama.
Yeah, where I'm gonna take your knees out.
That which also happened in the city of Detroit.
Makes sense.
What was that mean?
Just her point. Don't be talking bad about
what
Detroit.
You trying to say?
They're so sensitive. It makes sense because you about that life.
We are about that life.
Yeah. So why can't I say?
But I can say that.
I can't say it because I'm not from Detroit.
You ain't from Detroit. Yeah, I can say we about that life. You can't say it.
Jesus, I hope I make it out of here alive, guys. I don't know.
You with me? I'll protect you. Okay. But it was just those are two very wonderful performances. So that rounds up my Olympic minute.
Yeah, all right. So here's the deal. I think that the Olympics have been amazing, and I do appreciate how you've been able to cover them in the bestest of ways. But I'm going to tell you, my highlight really has nothing to do with what's going on with these medaling.
Okay,
you already told you what it was. That cheating ass cheater.
This is your favorite story from the Olympics, isn't it?
Because I'm in a space where my homegirls are getting cheated on left and right. And I want to just bomb on these men. I'm so triggered. I want to bomb these. I mean, I'm talking about these men have got to be murdered. You know what I mean?
She's joking before you file any indictments. She is joking, everybody. Okay. See, because in the comments, somebody gonna be like, Cari, that's why you ain't got a man. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, everyone swears they know.
I know.
Y'all don't know nothing.
You really don't.
About why.
Like,
you don't know what I got going on.
This Black James Bond right here, you will not know. We'll be hanging out and the helicopter just be on the roof to come get her, and I don't know where she going.
I'm like, I'll see y'all later.
Right.
Let me handle my business.
You know what I'm saying? Cari could have she could have 3 fiancés right now. I would have no idea.
And by the way, and y'all won't until I post a picture of just the rings.
I don't even think you would do that.
I would even do that. I could be married right now. Y'all don't know.
Exactly. You would not.
Y'all have no. I'll be like, she married to who?
Right.
Like, doing what?
Exactly. They had to catch you slipping.
Me slipping hard. Okay, so the story that I found interesting, and it happened a few days ago, but it was okay. So when I had the Cari Champion show on Amazon, we covered a lot of soccer, and Vinicius Jr., who is a soccer player for Real Madrid, had really won my heart because there was a match in which literally the team that he was playing against, he was in Spain, and they were throwing bananas on the field. And I don't remember exactly when, but they were throwing bananas on the field, referencing him as a monkey. He's a dark-skinned Brazilian. And apparently, just like anywhere in this world, the color of your skin really matters in how people treat you. It's the caste system everywhere you go. And so I most recently was flipping through Instagram, and I saw that another player and I think it's Benfica. Benfica is the team that he was playing against. Vinny Jr., as they called him, had this amazing goal, and he celebrated by like dancing on, as he should.
Hip gyration,
yeah, a little hip gyration, as he should, as we all should.
It's in his blood.
It's literally in his blood, and so the reality is, apparently, the way in which he celebrated upset this one particular player who doesn't even deserve a name. But he took his jersey and he went like this. And apparently, according to Vinny Jr., he called him a monkey 5 times to his face, walked past him. He was like, you monkey, you monkey, you monkey, you monkey. If you go back and watch this footage, you could see Vinny here, and he gets so upset. He walks over to the ref and was like, he called me a monkey. He called me a monkey. He's walking around. He then went over to the coach of Benfica and said, he called me a monkey. And everybody acted like, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Everyone was like, relax. Everyone on the other team, his teammates were trying to keep him in the moment. But watching him run across the field to get attention, to say, look at what just happened to me. And no one really addressed it with a sense of urgency, except for Kylian Mbappe, who I love, the biggest star there is in soccer, arguably right now. Kylian was furious. And he's also mixed, right? He's his father's from Cameroon. And so he's like, I'm black. Like, you could feel like, you're like, am I a monkey too? You could feel that energy that he had as well. And he went over there to address the issue after the match was over, rather. He talked about it. He goes, that guy doesn't even deserve a name. What he did to Vinny was wrong. It should be talked about. We have to stop ignoring it. Everyone is trying to make sure it's not an issue. Everyone's downplaying it. And the hopelessness that I saw on Vinny's face made me want to cry, like legitimately cry. This happens all the time to him. He's not familiar with it. In fact, when it happened like 2 years ago, when he was in Spain playing, there were all of these people addressing the issue, saying they were going to help him. But the tide has turned since then. Even at that time, I think that people said they wanted to help him and they were outraged. But it happens to him so often. that people 9 times out of 10 within soccer, because this is a big issue for soccer.
They've dealt with this for a long time.
They've been dealing with this for a long time, or not dealing with it for a long time. But his helplessness and his hopelessness was felt. It was like, I understood it. It hits me in my heart. Like when you say, where do you feel it? I feel it right here. Because I know what it feels like to be marginalized. I know what it feels like to be judged. I know what it feels like to be, and I don't want to say the word blackballed, but treated exiled, treated like you don't matter.
Right.
And everyone quietly is watching, and no one has enough courage to do anything about it. So for Killian to address it was special. But not only did Killian address it, they would consider this guy one of the ambassadors of soccer. Thierry Henry said the following.
I don't want to see that. And I heard some people saying it's always happening with him. Who cares? It's the issue here. What are you trying to move the subject or the situation? Let's go back to the point. What has been said? It's been said that Vinicius Jr. is a monkey. What are we talking about once again? What shall we do? And on top of that, he can't celebrate? Mm. Where are we here? What are we talking about? No, it is not a generalization on what Benfica is as a club. No one is talking about it. We all have massive respect for Benfica, but that individual needs to answer to what Killian has said. He cannot just come out and say, I didn't say anything. Well, why did you cover your mouth then? But now we can talk about something. I don't like to speculate. I believe Killian. He left me a message, by the way. I can't wait to hear it. I don't usually talk about what I do on my phone and stuff. You guys know that. But this is important. I called him. I wanted to know what the guy said. But at the same time, we had the video. Enough is enough. It's a beautiful game, but sometimes the rules that we have in our game is far from where the game is in the eyes of people. What is it? We're here to score goals or make people happy, but then when someone is getting hurt, we don't act. We victimize the guy. Seriously, what are we talking about? Seriously. His goal stopped the game? That's what we heard tonight. His goal stopped the game. Actually, his goal made me jump. That's what he did, the goal. That's what I want to see.
You know, Cari, the thing that really upsets me about this kind of incident is that there's an expectation that we just supposed to take it.
That's what they said to him.
That's essentially what they said to him. Like, it's just part of the game, or have thicker skin. We hear that shit all the time. And the people who often say that are people that don't have to deal with it. I mean, I get called the N-word at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week on social media.
And that's a good week.
And that's a good week. And when somebody calls me that, I'll be like, oh, otherwise known as Friday. Okay? I've had threats sent to my house. I mean, all kinds of things. And people who are like, oh, it's just words, or it's just this, because the shit doesn't happen to you. And what's worse is because of the way that the dominant group looks at race, is that their expectation is that we just supposed to be nice about it. Mm-hmm. That, we have this, then they put the pressure on us to like forgive or to be graceful. Like, fuck being graceful, to be honest. Like, I wish, knowing what happened, I wish Vinny would have acted more of a fool on the field, because there needs to be a widespread message sent that this shouldn't be tolerated. I love it, here in the States, where we've seen many NBA players do it. When the fans start getting out of control and start saying inappropriate things, they get them tossed out the game. And that should be the standard. It's like, you need to know certain things are unacceptable. And for this to be another player, a peer, that says that to you.
If you go back and watch it, and this is for the folks who are listening and watching, you go back and watch that clip, and I'll post the clip as well too on our social. His hopelessness was so palpable, but the way in which everybody, even some of his teammates, were telling him just to chill, it's not a big deal. Like, that was disgusting.
Yeah, that would anger me, because then you're being complicit. Complicit. I need you to be riding for me. Like,
well, it's like someone will say to you, Jemele, why are you always talking about race? Because I'm Black. And I see everything through that lens because I am treated that way. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm talking about it. And I'm not always talking about it. You're being super sensitive about it because you don't want to address it. And you're like, when I tell you when they interviewed that coach, I can't think of his name.
Marino, I think it was.
Yes. And he was like, well, the celebration was a little inappropriate.
The fact that he blamed the celebration. I'm just like, you have a player that has hurled a racial slur at another player. Like, that's the issue. I don't care if he had been dry humping on the pitch for 45 minutes. Okay? It's like, that is not, that response is really unacceptable. And my thing, it also exposes how much people who do that, like, by calling him a monkey, like, they're cowards. You said it under your shirt. Say it with your full chest. If you feel that way, jump on out there. Well, if you feel a froggy jump, as we like to say.
By the way, to your point, it's almost like you're taking the words right out of Vinny's mouth. Vinny was like, racists are cowards.
It's 100% true.
Because you can't stand on what you're saying. You're not standing with your chest, your full chest. You're talking around it. Like, tell us how you feel about it.
Come on with it. Come on, Cletus. You know what I'm saying? If that's what we gonna do.
With the shoulders.
With the... You know what I'm saying?
Shimmy.
With the shimmy.
You want to fight?
What you want to do?
What we gonna do?
See?
What you doing?
I'm in my city. See, the energy that changed.
Yeah, I was like, we about to break out some baseball bats. Take out some knees.
Like,
we about to take some people down.
Yeah. Well, but I hope, though, that this young man and Vinny, though, I hope that... because that does leave a psychological effect on you. Because as you...
Oh, no, he's devastated.
Yeah.
He is so sweet and so kind. He is devastated. And you can see, he's like, no one cares. This has been happening. No one cares.
Yeah, because I think he cares more about that part than he was called.
It's not so much about calling me a monkey. It's the fact that you all say today's Tuesday and let's just move on.
Let's just move on. Like, just so
and I understand that there is heated rivalry. People hate Real Madrid. I understand it's like, it could be like Lakers versus Celtics back in the 80s. Like you hate this person so badly. You go to, remember, because they used to squabble. So I understand there is so much venom that you have towards this opposing team, but you can't get mad because he scored an amazing goal and celebrated.
Oh my God.
Heaven forbid.
Hey man, get out your feelings.
Yeah,
like,
anyway.
You're just mad to get scored on.
Well, I hope honestly, to your point, like something is done. I doubt it though, because the more and more, I look at where we live right now. Oof. That couldn't happen. It couldn't happen in any league today. It could happen, but something would be done about it. That's what I give Adam.
Something would be done.
Like with Adam Silver, he made "Oh Boy Sell the Clippers." I was like, but you couldn't.
But Cari,
go ahead.
Part of me is like,
I
don't know.
We're moving more towards I don't care. Let's move on.
No. I'm just, when you said that if that happened in certain leagues, it wouldn't be tolerated. But
in some leagues it'd be fine.
It would be fine because I'm thinking about what just happened in UFC. Is that what's his name? Sean Strickland?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
Super racist, bigoted, homophobic rant he just went on fully in front of the media.
I didn't.
And it's like, and I promise you, nothing will happen to him. And so I was like, before we get on our high horse, to be honest,
we know different.
Tolerated
here.
Some things.
That just gave me chills, like because this is where we are right now, and it's pretty sick.
It is very sick. Well, look, let me make you happy before we get on out of here.
What about? Tell me something good.
All right, since we in Detroit, okay, I'm gonna have to teach you a little Detroit lingo. All right, so like when you walking around my city, you can't be out here embarrassing me. All right,
how?
Yeah,
how would I?
I'm just saying, like, you got to act like you really belong here.
I'm for the shenanigans.
Okay, you are here for shenanigans. So you already know what our unofficial greeting is, right?
What up, though?
What up, though? So, correct. The other thing, too, is somebody refers to you as my baby. Realize they're not trying to hit on you. That's just how they generally say.
Please use it in a sentence.
They'll be like, what up, my baby? How you doing, my baby? Oh, that is...
So when the Uber driver just did that, I shouldn't have thought that he liked me.
No.
When he was like, what up, my baby?
Yes, okay. Correct. He was just... He's
welcome
just
to my
conversation.
Car. Welcome to my automobile.
Right. And instead of whether it be male or female, we just say dog. We be like, man, dog was out there acting a fool. So they could
male
be, or it could be male or female.
Okay.
But definitely not an actual dog.
Okay.
All right. We'll be like, man, dog had it coming.
What up, though?
My baby.
What up, though?
What up, though? That's number one.
My baby.
It could be a question or a statement. Right?
My baby.
My baby. Dog.
Dog.
And then we have another term called yamp.
I know that term because you called me a yamp before. I know that term. She's called me a yamp before. Okay,
we be like, look at them yamps over there.
That's really disrespectful.
Hey.
That's almost it's a mix between tramp
and it's young tramp.
It's young.
That's what it is.
And you want to know why we judge Detroit?